Shalom Uvracha, holy Hasidim and Tzaddikim of Camp Mosheva and Ismor. It is an enormous zechut to be sharing some Torah with you on the occasion of our siyum of Masechet Yoma. If you don't know who I am, my name is Meir Bolovsky. Been to Ismor for many, many years, and unfortunately could not make it out this year. But it is, again, an enormous zechut to share some Torah with you as we all finish Masechet Yoma. So a teaching that stood out that I think I'm going to take with me, and it'll be a reference point I use from in general and just from Yoma. I don't know if it stands out because it was only like a relatively recent stuff or it just is that powerful. In talking about tshuva, what I really grabbed a lot from was when the Gemara was talking about the way the man fell. So there's an enormous lot of teaching, a lot of Gata about what was the manna like in the desert for 40 years. We had desert, that's how we survived. So on Daf Ayin Hey Amud Aleph, there's a machloket over what did the man look like, what was it actually like, and there are three sources. Where one time it says Kativ Lechem, it's bread. Another place says Kativ Ugot, it's like cakes that requires baking. You kind of imagine those the cakes or the food you get frozen, but it's like mostly baked, you put in the oven to kind of finish baking, that kind of thing, or it's like some kind of raw material, but otherwise it's in cake form. Or the third source would say that it is the ch'tiv v'tachanu, that they were like seeds that you had, the grains they had to actually from scratch grind into flour and sift and then basically start from scratch. So you have three sources of what man looked like. Was it fully made bread, just go out and eat? Was it like these cakes that were partially prepared, partially baked, but you had to kind of finish the process, you had to finish baking yourself? Or were they like, here are your grains, good luck, and make your food? So the resolution that the Gemara teaches is that, no, this is how it works. Depends on who you were. If you were a tzaddik, you found your man as full-blown lechem. If you were a Benoni, you're an average person, then you got it in these cake formats where it was mostly done, or the hard work was done, but you had to finish it yourself. Or if you were a Rasha, then you found it only as kernels, as grains, and you basically had to start from scratch in the mill and do the whole thing yourself. That's a fascinating answer to what this would look like, but I'm thinking yom yomi, day to day, what's it look like? Like, what are your categories? How do you know where you are? How quickly can you change? Does it depend on how you behave the next day? One day you're Russia, and then you have a lousy day, and then you're a tzaddik, then you're a Russia. Does it take like a year or months or days? How long and how hard it is to change your category? And it's an amazing way of how we think about our behaviors. And there's the famous teaching in Pirkei Avot that we don't know the value of a mitzvah, and we shouldn't start thinking, okay, I'll do this, I won't do this. You don't know the value of your mitzvah, you don't know the value of your actions. And it is an enormous, powerful message that, okay, we're not waiting until Yom Kippur to do tshuva. Self-improvement is a daily activity, it's a daily mission. We don't know what status we're at. You don't know if you are locked into whatever status you're in, or one action changes the game. So my bracha to all of us as we finish this Masechet is that you take this message with you daily. As we're in camp. You're in camp. I wish I was in camp. In camp, there's some sense of routine. We do the similar things every day, but every day can have an entirely different vibe. So if you have one challenging day, next day you have the opportunity to change the world. My bracha to you every day, see it as a blessing. May we all strive to be tzaddikim and maintain ourselves as tzaddikim, and may we be zochet to finish many more masechtot and learn together. May Hashem bless you all for a happy, healthy, continued summer. Chazak Baruch.